In this world of technology, things are ever changing, rearranging. You need someone to help you out. I know someone who can. Come and take a journey with me as we go through the land of technology. You'll never be alone. You'll be with Paul Amadeus Lane in the Tech Zone.
Welcome back to the Tech Zone, ABC News Radio, iHeart, iTunes, Stitcher, YouTube, live stream, all of the above. I am Paul Amadeus Lane. If you missed the first segment of the show, I talked about video, doorbell, surveillance, how we're starting to see this saturation in the market. Is it too little too late for some of these companies to get involved? See, I keep hitting my mic when I talk. I gesture a lot, so forgive me about that. Forgive me for that. But I'm only human. All right, so let's have some fun right now. Let's talk about tech myths that people are Googling. And it really varies from state to state on some of the things that people are Googling. And if you live in a particular state, I want to find out if you're doing the same thing. So let's bring on our very special guest that's going to help us to navigate through this report. And
I'm good, thank you, Paul. How are you?
I am doing fantastic. It is great to have you. And first of all, love the accent. So this is going to be really fun, really fun. So let's talk about this report that you guys did. Now, and you being the staff researcher over there at High Speed Internet. And people Google some very interesting things. And I wanted to start off with California. But before I do, why did your company want to do something like this? Put this report out there. Why is this so intriguing?
Yeah, so we kind of put out a few reports throughout the year, just kind of what's happening in the tech industry, what are people Googling, what's trending right now. So we kind of wanted to look at what are tech myths that people still believe in this year. So this is kind of where the report idea came from.
I'm glad you guys did, because I was so intrigued, especially when it came to what Californians are Googling. So in your research, what did you find out that we crazy Californians are Googling?
Right. So the top kind of tech myth that's being Googled in California is charge phone in microwave.
What?
Which is pretty funny. It was this thing that kind of went viral about a year ago, where people kind of spread this fake rumor on the internet that you could charge your iPhone in a microwave. And so people tried it, and, obviously it made your phone explode. You're not supposed to really do that. So yeah, just putting that out there, do not put your phone in a microwave to charge it.
I'm like blown away, Victoria, because when I look at these different tech myths and things like that, and being in the tech industry for several years, I've heard of like some crazy things in the tech industry, but this like blew me away. Why would anybody just believe that you can charge your phone in a microwave, especially your iPhone? And people actually did this.
Right. A few people actually did it after they heard the rumor. I think it was one of those things to prove that you can't believe everything that you hear on the internet, right? So I'm glad, hopefully, if that means being Googled the most in California, that means that people are Googling it before they do it. But, even when I was sending this report out, I had people reply saying, like, yeah, I had a friend who actually did that, and it destroyed her smartphone totally.
I'm like, gosh, that is so funny. That is so funny. And what were some other tech myths? Because I'm looking at the report right now. Some states wanted to find out about the best smartphones, iPhone or Android. Out of all the research that you guys did, besides us crazy Californians, what else kind of stood out in your mind as far as tech myths?
What I really liked was that Macs can't get viruses. I always thought, Mac computers can't get viruses, and that was the top Googled question in New York. Turns out Macs actually can get viruses. That's a really old kind of myth. Some other things that were interesting that some states Googled, like Texas, were like, is my phone listening to me? Which I feel like is a thing that a lot of us believe, that our phones are listening to us, but there's kind of some discrepancy from the companies as to whether they really are. Some other kind of interesting things were like, should I put my phone in rice? Are baby monitors being hacked? So there was kind of some interesting, different kinds of myths that were being Googled. Yeah, so definitely California's was the funniest.
Yeah.
But it was, yeah, it was. Sorry, go ahead.
No. I bet it was, and I bet when you guys are doing your research and everything, you said, are there any California people that work in the office, and did you give them a hard time, or were you guys like, we knew California was crazy?
Yeah, we don't have any Californians in our office. I used to live there, and considering it's kind of the tech hub of the world, it's kind of interesting that that was the most Googled thing in California. It's kind of funny.
Nah, it is. And when I first got the report from you, that kind of like blew me away. I know here at the station, all of us had a little chuckle about that. Like, what? Are you serious? Are you serious? And when we look at these different tech myths out there, what do you think drives people to have these different myths?
I think that, like I said, with the charging your phone in a microwave, is that things get spread over social media these days just so quick. And one of the reasons we wanted to put this report out was that we want to make sure people are actually doing their research before they just listen and take these myths at face value. Like, let's gather these myths that we know people around the US are Googling, and let's dispel them so that people know that they aren't true, or maybe that it's more nuanced than they think. So really, we wanted to release this just to make sure that people know what's true and what's not true, and they realize that you can't just believe everything that you see on social media.
I don't know. In one of the states, one of the most Googled things, tech myths, was, I believe, fixed computer, and that kind of intrigued me. Like, okay, that means it's probably an area where tech is not really, I want to say, a priority, and people probably got old computers, and they don't want to go out and buy another one, so they want to fix their old computer there that has Windows 3.1 or Windows 95 on it. But what was your take when you saw that?
I think you make a really good point about, in California, everyone's got like the latest tech. That's where Facebook and Google and everyone is set up. And then you see these other states like Wyoming or kind of more rural states that are Googling fixed computer or fixed phone. So I think you make a really good point about maybe California being really ahead in the tech industry so that they don't need to Google these things, but other states do. I think you make a really good point about that. People are Googling more how to fix things rather than just buy the new thing that's coming out this year.
That's true. California's like, okay, my computer's slow today, so I'm going to buy another one, and I'm going to buy another one next month. I'm going to do this and that. One thing that intrigued me too was, I think it was in the state of Georgia, and I think that might be where the baby monitor hack. And as I look at this, and I'm not trying to stereotype anybody out there, but again, you see different states out there where tech is not really a priority again, or are really, people really are in tune with tech, and people are prone to conspiracy theories. All you need is one person to say, oh, I heard on this radio program that baby monitors are hacked. And now the whole community is trying to see if this is true or not, because Big Brother is watching. How important is, and I'm glad you talked about this earlier, about how you put out this report so people can do their own research to find out if these things are true or not. But do you see that trend with different states, again, that are not really tech savvy?
Yeah, I think that's really interesting. There's definitely some states that kind of Googled like the less techy kind of things, or maybe are spreading kind of theories that aren't true. And really the main interesting thing we found out while doing this report is that myths are actually very nuanced, right? Like, these tech myths have some truth and some fiction to them, and people kind of think it's one way, but it's actually quite layered, and there's a lot of different. Does that make sense, what I'm trying to say?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
There's a lot of fact and fiction mixed into these. And so when there's something like baby monitor hack or my phone's listening to me, these are things that maybe companies haven't really explicitly said, but people have taken people have kind of started to believe this stuff themselves. So it's
Yeah.
interesting to see people Googling it. Like I said, hopefully that means people are researching it and maybe they're learning that it is or isn't true or that it's more nuanced than they originally thought.
That's true, because all you need to have some crazy talk show host like myself get on here and say, "Hey, you know what? Guess what? The government has this conspiracy about this, and everybody's trying to Google it and
Right.
see if it's okay or not." But it really, but again, it's good to see people doing research. Another one that intrigued me, I think it was in was it Hawaii or Alaska? Hawaii fixed computer, and
Hmm.
again, you look at this and computers and everything, they've gotten cheaper, but they're still expensive when it comes to really trying to buy new ones and everything. Or let's say that if a computer goes on the blink, that you're out of your warranty. And it's good to see that people are trying to find out these things. People are empowering themselves instead of saying, "Okay, let me send it to the repair shop, pay X amount of dollars."
Hmm.
People are saying, "Hey, I can do this myself," because if they Google it, a YouTube may pop up. I can't tell you how many times
Hmm.
I saw something on YouTube and fixed it myself and been able to do it.
Yeah.
And it's good to see people really empowering themselves to fix certain things.
Yeah, I was going to think these days people have kind of realized that maybe you can fix your own tech at home. And like you said, you can go to YouTube and search, how do I fix my computer? How do I fix my screen? How do I fix the battery? Anything like that. So I think that that's a really interesting kind of movement is that now you can order your own parts on Amazon and then look up on Amazon, I mean, excuse me, look up on YouTube how to fix it, right? Like yourself. So that's kind of an interesting finding.
I love it. And Victoria, this um, study that you guys did, is research about tech questions and tech myth. It really enlightened all of us when it comes to this subject, and we really appreciate the hard work that you guys are doing out there. What are some other reports that you guys have done?
We do some kind of more fun reports on things like Netflix, the favorite Netflix show in every state. We've kind of done what are people Googling most in every state? What shops are they Googling the most for like Cyber Monday or Black Friday? So we kind of do a lot of different reports that are a bit more fun and a bit more about trends. But this Tech Myths report actually was really fun to see kind of what people are looking up and how can we help people not believe every myth they hear on social media. Just help them kind of empower them to start Googling and taking into their own hands, looking up their tech questions.
And I tell you what, Victoria, if I was a betting man, I would have bet
Mhm.
the house that Texas was the state that thought that their phone was listening to them. I just could have,
Yeah.
that was just it was just the everything just aligned when it came to that, because I knew it had to be Texas. A lot of conspiracy theories are out there, and so but I know, and I really appreciate that. So what I would like to do, Victoria,
Uh-huh.
next month, let's get back together because I want to talk about that Netflix report, because that's really intriguing. I want to
Yeah.
find out, because I know a lot of my friends in the entertainment industry too would like to find out. Wow, let's check out these trends, see who's watching what, and who's watching all these different programs out there. I'll get it out correctly. There we go. So
Yeah, for
Victoria, so I
sure.
look forward to catching up with you next month. So tell me, how can one find out more information about the great things you guys are doing over there at your organization?
Yeah, so just head over to High Speed Internet of the reports that we're putting out, then hit the resources tab, and we'll have all our reports from the past few years kind of just right there for you. Feel free to take a look through and read through and see what's trending. And we've got an email on there if you want to contact us with any questions or let us know any reports you'd be interested in seeing.
Awesome, Victoria. I'm gonna have you do that one more time. For some reason, our audio got kind of choppy. So if you can give me that
Okay,
spill
sure.
one more time, please. Okay, you can go right ahead.
Okay. Yeah, so you can head over to highspeedinternet.com and all of our reports are under the resources tab. So feel free to head there and look through all of our reports and let us know if there's anything that you'd like to kind of see reported.
Awesome, Victoria, Miranda. It's been great chatting with you, my friend, and look forward to catching up with you soon.
Thank you.
I really enjoyed my chat with Victoria. She and the folks over there at High Speed Internet are doing some amazing things. Looking forward to having them back on, talking about that Netflix and chill. Yeah, we're going to talk about that. But if you want more information about the survey that they did, um, if you're listening to this live, go back to the video podcast, because in the description in the YouTube description, we have a link to the survey, so you can definitely check it out. And that's a way, if you only listen to the show audibly, you can check out the video portion. The video portion is bananas. It's crazy. You can see how I look. You can see how Victoria looks. Sometimes we have some video features of the interview too, that really gives you a different, just a different view and a different experience of the show. All right, when we get back, we're going to talk about something that can make our devices beautiful, how we can coordinate. And there's one company doing some amazing things up in the beautiful state of Oregon. So you don't want to miss that. Coming up after these messages, I'm Paul, Amadeus Lane. You are in the Tech Zone. We'll be back right after these messages.
In this world of technology, things are ever changing, rearranging. You need someone to help you out. I know someone who can. Come and take a journey with me as we go through the land of technology. You'll never be alone. You'll be with Paul, Amadeus Lane in the Tech Zone.